Welcome back. The city of Tshwane is breaking new ground, offering free Wi-Fi in hotspots around the capital. It's part of a collaborative effort by NGOs to bridge the digital divide on the continent and focuses specifically on young people. A similar initiative has been rolled out in Stellenbosch in the Western Cape. Is this money well spent, or do government and NGOs have their priorities all wrong? Well, Worx Managing Director Arthur Goldstuck joins me in studio this morning to chat more about it. Welcome, Arthur.
Thank
you for joining us.
Like
many people might feel, if these communities are poor, they might need something other than Wi-Fi. They might need food, they might need clothes. Why Wi-Fi? What are the benefits of that?
Wi-Fi gives people access to the internet, and especially on phones. We released research yesterday, our annual mobility project, which showed, among many other things that people do on their phones, they are accessing Wi-Fi in increasing numbers. So in urban areas, 19% of adult cell phone users are accessing Wi-Fi hotspots on their phone. That's massive. That's 1 in 5 people. But the problem is that the cost of access is still very high, and mostly Wi-Fi hotspots you have to pay for. There are some that are free. And these are initiatives from the cities themselves to offer free Wi-Fi, not necessarily to the poor, but to anyone who is in the vicinity of those Wi-Fi hotspots. The real problem with that, though, is the moment it's free, it tends to get overused. Not even abused. You can't abuse it because it's too slow.
Yeah.
Too many people sign on, and they haven't allowed for that amount of people. So even in Stellenbosch, it was meant to be a city-wide initiative. Now you find it only in the very heart of the CBD, because Wi-Fi has a very short range. So you've got to have a lot of access points, and you've got to have a lot of what they call backhaul, which is the data supplied to the Wi-Fi access point itself. People think it's just a case of putting up a Wi-Fi access point and people can connect. But where does the internet access come from? And that's really the bottleneck that tends to stall the experience.
So practically, how does this work? We'd have it in stores, or would it be at schools? Where would they practically put it? How would you I don't know, so you're going to have to educate me about this as well. How would you install this? Where would you put it?
Typically, you'd have it in shopping malls, and you are seeing that more and more. There are shopping malls where you can sign on for free Wi-Fi already, regardless of what the cities are doing, but also in public spaces, in parks, in places where people go and sit on park benches at lunchtime, and especially those kind of areas are expected to be strong users or areas of use of Wi-Fi. The problem again is at the moment you have a fair amount of people, even a couple of dozen people signing onto a Wi-Fi hotspot, you're actually draining the resources of that hotspot, and the experience becomes appalling. And you also have to have access points rolled out every few meters. It's not even every few hundreds of meters, because of the short range, or the longer the range, the poorer the experience of that hotspot.
So it's going to affect the quality of the Wi-Fi, to put it in layman's terms. So how sustainable, I mean, how far do you see a project like this going? Would it last?
It is sustainable if there is a sense of an ecosystem. In other words, you're not just installing the access points and then going away. You've got to keep building on it, you've got to keep increasing the backhaul, and you've got to keep rolling out more access points, and you've got to spot where the bottlenecks are happening and increase the access there. So you've got to see it as an ongoing project. The moment you treat it as a one-off installation, then you're looking for trouble. And what's going to happen is that instead of people seeing it as a boon, they're going to start protesting about the poor quality, and again it becomes a service delivery issue.
Yeah, it's that you've given us something, but now you can't keep it going.
Precisely.
What do you see as the next step for after projects like this?
I think we're going to see a lot of commercial backing of these kind of projects from a marketing point of view. So you're seeing that in malls already, where the shopping mall itself will actually sponsor the access, or major anchor tenants in those malls will sponsor access. And in order to get your access, you're first going to have to look at a marketing message. That seems to be the most sustainable model and the most popular model. But also the idea, like in the Western Cape, where the Western Cape government is bringing access points to very poor communities, is also, I think, an important initiative. But again, you face potential service delivery protests.
Okay, we'll have to watch and wait and see, I suppose. That was Worx Managing Director Arthur Goldstuck. Thank you very much.
News that moves. eNCA.com.